Today is Wednesday, October 5th, 2022. I'm Kaylee Whitlatch.
And I'm Julia Wozleski. Here's what's happening now. Hurricane Ian was no doubt devastating for all who were affected by it. Fort Myers, Florida was impacted dramatically, but residents are finally able to begin accessing their homes after the hurricane. Isabel Rosales has the latest information.
It is a race against time. The window to find survivors is closing. Right now, it's unclear how many people are unaccounted for. Authorities are working to compile a list, but we do know that crews have rescued 2,300 people and counting. 1 week after Hurricane Ian slammed into Florida as a Category 4 storm, residents of one of the hardest hit communities will be allowed back in.
It's going to hit home. It's going to be emotional when they see their properties up close and the amount of damage that this storm inflicted upon them.
Ian wiped out a portion of the causeway connecting Sanibel Island to the mainland. While people will get access to their property Wednesday, officials say the island is still extremely unsafe.
It will be some time before we can resume normal life on Sanibel.
People who live on Fort Myers Beach will have to wait longer to see their homes.
My island of paradise is gone, as I knew it.
They were ordered to leave the barrier island with no guarantee of when they will be allowed to return.
I would guess it's probably hundreds of households that are going to be experiencing a period of time when they're not going to be able to be in their homes.
President Joe Biden will get a first-hand look at the devastation on Wednesday. He'll also meet with small business owners impacted by the hurricane.
There will be many businesses that will not provide work for their employees. It's really devastating to the community.
As Floridians enter the second week of recovery, many are holding out hope.
We're strong people. We'll get through it and we'll rebuild and come back.
And it will be an extremely emotional day for the residents of Sanibel later today between the hours of 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. They will for the first time be allowed on a boat to access their home, to assess their homes. Authorities are warning of dangerous debris, telling them that they're entering at their own risk. And when they get there, they will see a sign posted to their homes warning them whether their home is livable or not. So as you can imagine, it will certainly be a heartbreaking reality for so many people witnessing face to face that their home is gone. In Fort Myers Beach, I'm Isabel Rosales reporting.
On Monday, a Russian court set a date for the trial of American basketball star Brittany Griner. The athlete appealed her 9-year sentence for drug possession after police found vape canisters containing cannabis oil in her luggage at a Russian airport in August. The 2-time Olympic gold medalist and 8-time All-Star center says she inadvertently packed the canisters in haste and had no criminal intent. Her appeal date will be October 25th in a Moscow region court.
According to Philadelphia police, an arrest warrant was approved for 16-year-old Daron Bernie Thorne, who is reportedly a participant in last week's fatal shooting outside the Roxborough High School. The shooting left a 14-year-old boy dead and 4 teens wounded after a football scrimmage. According to police reports, Bernie Thorne was one of 8 persons of interest. 5 shooters jumped out of an SUV and began firing. More information on this case is to come.
The Pennsylvania Chief Supreme Court Justice has died. Max Baer was 74 when he died, just months before he was set to retire. He passed away suddenly in his home near Pittsburgh. Justice Deborah Todd will now become Chief Justice, as she has the longest and continuous service on the court. She is the first female Chief Justice in the history of the Commonwealth. Governor Tom Wolf was extremely saddened by his passing and said, quote, "He was a respected and esteemed jurist with decades of service to our courts and our Commonwealth," end quote.
A viewer of Sunday's Steelers game against the New York Jets died from falling on an escalator at Acrisure Stadium. On Monday, he was identified by the Allegheny County Medical Examiner's Office as 27-year-old Dalton Ryan Keene of Monaca. He was given medical treatment on site but passed away after being transported to the hospital. The Pittsburgh Department of Public Safety said that police and emergency services personnel were alerted that Keene fell around 4:45 p.m. The Steelers released a statement saying, quote, "We are working with local authorities and helping their investigation into the matter. We are sending our thoughts and prayers to the guest's family," end quote.
Police in Allegheny County are asking for help to find a missing woman from Frazier Township. 59-year-old Darlene Harbison disappeared on September 11th after her daughter had tried to contact her several times. 6 days later, police found Harbison's boyfriend, 57-year-old Eric Gibbs, dead after taking his own life on September 17th. Police believe Gibbs was responsible for the disappearance of Harbison, as they had a, quote, volatile relationship. Anyone with information on Harbison's disappearance should contact the Allegheny County Police tip line at 1-833-ALL-TIPS.
13-year-old Anthony Kempel is currently in recovery after being shot by another 13-year-old at a home in Swissvale. According to Channel 11, multiple boys were without supervision at a Short Street home when the boy who lived there grabbed a gun and shot Kempel. The teen boy is now facing aggravated assault charges and has been placed on house arrest. Although Kempel's mom is wondering why the teen was not charged as an adult, the court is trying him as a juvenile. If you are looking to support the family, you can visit the family's GoFundMe page.
A 15-year-old boy could be facing adult felony charges for attacking a teacher last Thursday. The incident occurred at Oliver Citywide Academy, a special education school for grades 3 through 12 on Pittsburgh's north side. The alleged assault sent the teacher to a Pittsburgh hospital. Police did not release details of the assault, but noted it is being investigated by the Bureau's Special Victims Unit, which indicates sex crimes, crimes against children, and missing persons. The district attorney for Allegheny County intends to petition the court to have the case transferred to the adult division for trial. Oliver Citywide Academy will be continuing with remote learning until October 10th to allow students and faculty, quote, time to process their grief and trauma.
Kennywood has released new security measures in order to keep people safe after the shooting on Saturday. They are beginning doubling the amount of police present for Phantom Fall Fest, and they are also removing trees around the perimeter bordering Route 837 and adding new floodlights and security cameras. They are also increasing security. Guests 17 and under are now required to have an adult at least 21 years old with a valid ID in order to enter during Phantom Fall Fest. Kennywood is also continuing to require safety screenings before entrance and is implementing a new bag policy. Face coverings are also prohibited after 6 p.m. except for those who prevent against COVID-19.
That's the news in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and beyond. After the break, we find out campus news.
And we'll take a look at the weather for today and tomorrow. We'll be right back.
Every day,
millions of people are connecting.
and even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together.
we should still make an
We
effort.
should still make an
to
effort.
get to know
Hey,
each other.
Ellie.
On a deeper
Can
level.
you turn that
Father,
camera slightly just because the end of it's
mentor,
cut off?
Actor.
it's time we take
Thank
a
you.
step
That
forward
It's time we take a step forward.
Come together.
and discover
How accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
Yeah, that's fine.
When we toss to weather, can you mention
Hey, Julia,
homecoming?
are you ready to play
Like, for-
band with us?
That would be for
I'm gonna play my
the next
clarinet.
weather, so that would be D-block.
Oh, okay, so we
Mention
talked to...
Well, you know what to do, Julia.
Julia knows.
With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still loves to make music. Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Can I get the now bar, please?
$1.
Have a good one.
Got it.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey.
Let me get a now bar.
Sure. $1.
Appreciate you.
Got it.
Welcome back to RMU Live.
Let's take a look at what's happening this week and beyond here at RMU. Grammy-winning singer Ed Sheeran will be making his way to Pittsburgh in 2023. The Castle on the Hill singer will be embarking on his first tour since the Divide Tour in 2018, which he has dubbed the Mathematics Tour. He will be performing at Acrisure Stadium on Saturday, July 8th, and will be joined by Khalid and Rosa Lynn.
The Western Pennsylvania Sports Museum will host the Pittsburgh premiere screening of the film Bruno Sam Martino tomorrow at 7 p.m. The film was named after the WWE world record holder for the longest-running WWF World Heavyweight Champion. The documentary follows his rise from a lowly immigrant to main event star. He fled Nazi-occupied Europe and arrived in Pittsburgh to start a new life with his family. He went on to be one of the most successful wrestlers of all time, selling out Madison Square Garden 188 times. The screening will be held on what would be Sam Martino's 87th birthday. Tickets are $15 for adults, $10 for members, and $5 for children. The leaves are starting to change, and Pennsylvania has felt the after effects of Hurricane Ian.
Will we get any rain today or tomorrow? Bethany Naughton has the forecast.
Thank you, guys. Today's forecast is going to be a high of 68 degrees with a low of 45. Humidity is going to be 58, and the chance of precipitation 10%, which is always good. Our hourlies at 3 p.m. is going to be sunny with a high of 66. At 6 p.m. it's going to be 65. And then at 9 p.m. it's going to be clear with a high of 56. And then tomorrow's forecast, sorry about that, is going to be a high of 68 with a low of 51, humidity 68, and a chance of precipitation 10%. Thank you guys so much. We're going to hand it back to the desk.
Thanks, Bethany. RMU is calling this weekend a weekend to remember, and it will kick off with the inauguration of the university's 9th president, Dr. Michelle Patrick. All afternoon classes have been canceled on Friday so that students can attend the inauguration at 1:30 in the UPMC Event Center. Following the ceremony, there will be a free reception at the gazebo.
2 candidates for the 17th Congressional District for the U.S. Senate will be visiting Robert Morris. Democrat Chris DeLuzio and Republican Jeremy Schaefer will be on campus on October 13th at noon in Massey Theater. The nominees will be speaking to the RMU community in a panel-like debate. This comes just a few weeks before the midterm elections on November 8th.
RMU will be hosting its homecoming dance this Friday from 9 p.m. to midnight. The Office of Student Life will be putting on the dance at the gazebo, so join them for a fun, festive night full of dancing. Tickets are available in the Student Life office.
Let's groove with Earth, Wind, and Fire at the UPMC Event Center. Saturday night, the band will take the stage at 8:30 p.m. Known for their catalog of hit songs, including September, the performance marks the end of homecoming weekend. The band has sold over 100 million albums worldwide and has 9 Grammy Awards, including one for the Lifetime Achievement. Earth, Wind, and Fire just celebrated their 50th anniversary last year of their debut album. Not many tickets are left to purchase on Ticketmaster for the show this weekend, so act fast. RMU alumni are invited to a pre-concert reception with heavy appetizers and a cash bar. Tickets for the reception are available on RMU's website.
Award-winning visual artist and filmmaker Lasse Lau will be joining the Women's Leadership and Mentorship Program for a coffee hour today from 2:30 to 4 p.m. in the Wheatley Cafe. Lau has won awards for multiple documentaries, so if you're interested, stop by after the show.
Mark your calendars, RMU Colonial Theater is preparing to do the time warp again as they perform the Rocky Horror Show. The story follows innocent couple Brad and Janet as they meet Dr. Frankenfurter and his clique of crazy and wild Transylvanians. The rock and roll sci-fi musical is known for its audience participation. The cult classic comes to the Massey Theater stage on October 27th through the 29th with performances at 7:30. Tickets will be available at the Student Life office with more information coming soon.
Last night, some of the community advisors here on campus hosted a rock, paper, scissors tournament in Hopwood Hall. The tournaments, led by Ben Herman, were the best of 5 and single elimination and ran from 7 to 9 p.m. The tournament ended with Katie Davis in 3rd place, Ellie Losi in 2nd, and Tristan Yoder winning. The winner received a mug and a trophy.
That's what's happening here on campus.
After the break, we'll take a look at COVID numbers and how monkeypox is influencing people. Stay with us on RMU Live.
It's been difficult because I hadn't been able to see my grandchildren.
I can't wait to get back to field trips with my school.
Not having to think about putting on a mask.
I really can't wait to get back to life, really.
I miss all my friends. I miss taking pictures in school.
An expression on someone's face when you do something nice for them.
COVID-19 vaccines are available, and they're the first step to safely getting back to things we miss most. Visit getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision about COVID-19 vaccines.
Imagine being fired, because of who you love. Imagine being denied medical treatment because of who you marry. Imagine being evicted because of who you are. Millions of Americans don't have to imagine this. They have to live it. Because in 30 states, it's legal to discriminate against LGBT people.
It's time to make an informed decision about COVID-19 vaccines. The dangerous new Delta variant is more than twice as contagious as the original virus and can affect anyone. Right now, 9 out of 10 hospitalizations and deaths from COVID are among unvaccinated people. Getting vaccinated might save your life, and there's now an option that's fully approved by the FDA. Learn more at getvaccineanswers.org.
Honorary Forest Ranger Betty White here, lending a hand to my dear friend Smokey Bear, because for years he's only said,
only you can prevent wildfires.
But there's a lot more to say. Like, if you park your car on tall, dry grass, the hot exhaust pipe can start a wildfire. So keep the animals safe, especially the cute shirtless one. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Hello and welcome back to RMU Live.
Let's find out what's happening in the nation's health. Doctors are saying that this flu season could be pretty severe, especially for the children. The flu season may be worse since COVID-19 restrictions are more relaxed and fewer people have developed an immunity to the flu. Doctors have already seen an increase in flu cases this season and are urging people to get their flu shots and a COVID-19 booster.
A call to U.S. doctors from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Be on the lookout for a respiratory illness that's on the rise and may be linked to more cases of rare paralyzing conditions. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has more on the illness and what patients need to know.
In the summer and fall, enteroviruses are very common in U.S. children.
Cold, cough, congestion, difficulty breathing, maybe worsening of asthma.
The CDC reports a rise in respiratory illnesses and visits to the emergency room in youth over the summer, and the agency is now warning doctors and parents to be on the lookout for an enterovirus called D68 that may be linked to more cases of a rare paralyzing condition called acute flaccid myelitis, or AFM.
This is what happens when this virus affects a part of the brain.
When that happens, Cleveland Clinic Dr. Perva Grover says it affects the muscles. She says parents should look out for symptoms, which can include drooping eyelids, numbness and tingling of arms and legs, and loss of muscle tone.
Those can be small and subtle, so if you're not looking, you might miss the initial stages, but eventually the devastation continues to become rather catastrophic.
Grover says the weakening of the muscles may make it harder for a child suffering from AFM to breathe. The condition requires doctors to take extra steps to diagnose.
It's extremely important to diagnose them in a timely fashion.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Thanks, Mandy. Now let's take a look at today's COVID numbers. Today there have been 24,828 new cases of COVID-19 reported in the U.S. This brings the total number of cases to 96,249,466. There have also been 322 new deaths, bringing the total number of deaths to 1,054,443.
Pennsylvania has more than 2.6 million confirmed cases of COVID-19, with about 2,000 to 4,000 cases being added daily. This is out of 10,000 to 20,000 PCR tests being taken daily. Daily deaths range from 10 to 20 people, and the state's total death count is more than 47,000.
There are currently 167 positive cases of COVID-19 that have been reported on RMU's campus since August 1st. There's currently 1 student and 5 employees in isolation for COVID-19. Individuals who are in isolation have tested positive for COVID-19, and this includes both on-campus and off-campus housing or employees' homes.
A new study has found some people in the U.S. experienced personality changes during the pandemic. Researchers looked at pre-pandemic levels of neuroticism, extroversion, openness, agreeableness, and conscientiousness. And they compared that data to data collected in 2021 and 2022. They found notable personality changes among the U.S. population. Extrovertionness, agreeableness, and conscientiousness all declined in the years following the start of the pandemic, particularly in young adults. The lead author said researchers can't yet say how long the difference in personality might last or whether they will swing back. A psychology professor not involved in the study points out there wasn't a control group and other explanations that were not examined. So it's hard to say for sure whether the pandemic has caused these changes. The study was published in Wednesday's journal in the PLOS One. A psychology professor not involved in the study points out there wasn't a control group and other explanations were not examined. So it's hard to say for sure whether the pandemic caused these changes.
Officials are warning some cases of monkeypox are more severe than originally thought. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention notes some people with the disease have experienced debilitating symptoms. Those include painful lesions, some of which have become necrotic and led to amputations. Some patients have also experienced involvement of multiple organs and developed conditions including heart and brain inflammation. Most of these severe cases are being seen in people who are also infected with advanced stages of HIV. Scientists say the same could happen in anyone whose immune system is compromised. The majority of the more than 25,000 cases in the U.S. have been mild to moderate. So far, 1 death in the U.S. has been attributed to monkeypox.
Some cheeses have been recalled after they were linked to a listeria outbreak. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention issued a food safety alert Friday after illnesses were reported in California, Georgia, Massachusetts, Michigan, New Jersey, and Texas. More than 20 brands of brie and Camembert cheese sold between August 1st and September 28th across the U.S. and Mexico have been recalled. A total of 6 illnesses were reported, and 5 people have been hospitalized. No deaths have been reported. More information is available on cdc.gov and the Federal Drug Administration's recall page. That's what's happening in medicine this week. After this break, we'll take a look at sports and entertainment news.
And we'll get one last look at the weather for today and this week. We'll be right back on RMU Live.
Bring it. Time out, guys. I'm late to dinner. My mom's gonna kill me. Catch you guys later.
Mom wants us home. Okay. Bye, guys.
You guys need a ride?
Sure. Yeah. All right. How about some one-on-one? I gotta go eat, man. Sorry. I'll see you later.
Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
Welcome back to RMU Live.
Let's take a look at sports and entertainment news. Now let's take a look at some of the latest news in both Pittsburgh and RMU Sports. Colby Sherwin has all the sports updates for you.
Thanks, guys. It was a busy weekend full of football here in the Pittsburgh area. Penn State was able to pull out a win versus Northwestern, 17-7. Sean Clifford passed for 140 yards and a touchdown. The Nittany Lions moved to 5-0 on the year. Up next for them is number 4 Michigan, who went to the college football playoffs last year. That game's on Saturday. Pitt was also in action Saturday. It did not go well, as they fell to Georgia Tech 26-21. Jeff Sims passed for 102 yards and a touchdown. The Yellow Jackets came in as 23-point underdogs as they upset the Panthers. Pitt will take on Virginia Tech on Saturday. That's homecoming for them as well. The Pirates end the regular season today as they conclude their 3-game set with the St. Louis Cardinals. This will mark the end of the regular season play for Albert Pujols, Yadier Molina, and Adam Wainwright. All are set to retire at the end of the playoff run for the Redbirds. Yohan Oviedo will take the bump for the Bucks tonight. The Steelers fell to the Jets on Sunday, which is not great. But the story everybody's talking about is rookie quarterback Kenneth Shane Pickett taking his first snaps from Pittsburgh. This year, he looked okay. He did throw 3 picks. The Steelers will take on the Bills on Sunday. Pickett is slated to start for the Steelers, and the Pens will open regular season play next week. Moving on to RMU Sports, the football team fell again. No real surprise. They're 0-4 on the year, and they'll take on Gardner-Webb for homecoming on Saturday. The men's soccer team fell to Wright State, and they will take on Cleveland State tonight. And the women's soccer team tied Northern Kentucky 1-1 and will take on Oakland on Sunday. The volleyball team had a busy weekend, but they fell to Cleveland State, Purdue Fort Wayne, and IUPUI. They'll take on Youngstown State on Friday. That's all for me. Let's send it back to the desk.
Thanks, Colby. A symbol of Christmas cheer will cost more this year. Christmas Tree Farms say people can expect to pay more for their perfect tree this year. A survey of 55 wholesale Christmas tree growers found 71% expect to raise wholesale prices. The growers account for 2/3 of the nationwide supply. Many of them plan to charge retailers 5 to 15% more, with some even saying their trees will be 20% more. Tree farms do not expect shortages because this year's harvest looks good, but they say operating costs have gone up over the last year. That includes everything from labor and raw materials to shipping trees to retailers.
Amazon unveiled a new shopping portal called Amazon Access, focused on shoppers who get governmental assistance. Snap EBT is featured on the storefront, and it also includes information about the company's layaway program that allows customers to pay for their products over a set period of time. Amazon officials say they want to make sure people who are struggling financially have better and, in some cases, less expensive options. More information is available on Amazon's website.
Fall is finally here, and we are feeling the chill here in Pittsburgh.
Bethany Naughton has the forecast for this weekend's homecoming festivities.
Thank you, guys. Here's our 5-day forecast. On Wednesday, it's going to be 69 degrees with a low 40 degrees. Thursday is going to be partially cloudy, 68 with the low 45 degrees. Friday is going to be raining, so don't forget your umbrellas. With a low of 57 with a high of 57 with the low 43. Saturday is going to be partially cloudy with a high of 51 degrees with the low 39, so don't forget your jackets for homecoming. It's going to be a little chilly. And then Sunday is going to be 56 degrees, sunny, with a low of 36 degrees. So we're going to send it back to the desk. Hope you guys have a good weekend.
Thanks, Bethany. Nick Cannon's large family has just gotten a bit bigger. Friday, the actor and TV host announced on social media the birth of his 10th child. Cannon shared that his newborn son, Rise Messiah Cannon, was born last Friday after 48 hours of labor. The infant weighed in at 10 pounds. Cannon welcomed Rise's birth with the baby's mother, Brittany Bell. He is their 3rd child together. The two also share a 5-year-old son and a 20-month-old daughter. Rise's birth comes just 10 days after Cannon announced the birth of his youngest daughter, Onyx Ice Cole Cannon.
That's all for us here on RMU Live. I'm Kaylee Whitlack.
And I'm Julia Wazaleski. We'll see you next week.